Welcome back, everybody. We are here for Division 4 of the Jesus versus Jesus tournament. 64 Jesuses in a head-to-head matchup, and we are now on to Moses Cash, beginning with Moses and ending with Noah. And not the biblical Moses and Noah. These guys are something different. But first, let me say, you may have noticed we have a fancy new top and bottom banner. So this looks super legit now. Anyway, so Division 1 over here, the Magashin division ended with Kondrati as the winner, and Division 2 ended with Krishna Vinta as the winner there. So be sure to check those videos out if you want to see how all of that played out. Then we have Division 3, and let me zoom in here real quick. I struggled. I couldn't come to a final decision on this matchup here between Marshall Applewhite and David Koresh and Charles Manson and Shoko Asahara. So I left that up to the next video, which will be the Final Four and ultimately the championship. So I figured I would just leave those two matchups for then, and then whoever wins out of those two is going to move on and face each other here, because I think these two here don't have any chance. And if you want to review all that in more detail, you can watch the Division 3 video. Without any further delay, let's get into this. Our first two matchups, we have Moses, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that, with Sergei skipping Torup. And the next matchup is Jesus of Kitwe versus Wayne Bent. So let's switch over to the profiles real quick. So these are the profiles from Division 3, and while I scroll through them quickly here, I just want to mention my Division 3 video, and right now actually for this whole series, it is me and the innovator who are apparently liking this new series right now. So just want to give a shout out to the innovator. I also find this interesting. I like, just like I said, when you see it in this format with like all of this together and you just kind of watching it progress through time, it just puts the whole kind of thing in perspective. Okay, so a lot of these Division 4 guys are still alive, and they've been featured in a lot of stories that are around the internet. Like, one is a National Geographic. That story has been kind of duplicated, so it's around in multiple places, and those links are on the description of the Division 1 video, kind of how I came up with the whole list. So anyway, you'll find it on one of those. So moving on to this matchup, finally, I think I've rambled on enough. We have Moses, again, not going to pronounce that. So in 2013, he appeared on an E's New channel and publicly declared he is the black reincarnation of Jesus Christ from South Africa. He also said he was getting ready to perform miracles like curing the lame and blind and even resurrecting the dead. And so he's got a few followers, people who are giving him a lot of money. This man is giving him his whole pension every month, which just sounds crazy. But as it turns out, this isn't necessarily uncommon. And we have another sort of version of it. This guy in Russia, another Jesus from Russia. I think, is that the third one now? I'm not even sure. Sergei Torop, the Jesus of Siberia. He really tries to dress the part of, I guess, at least the popular depiction of Jesus, the white Jesus, as it were. Founded the Church of the Last Testament, a spiritual community, in 1990. Currently resides on the largest religious reservation in the world in Siberia. And then our next matchup is between the Jesus of Kitwe and I peeked ahead on this one too. And this guy is, I've got to say, I think the nicest Jesus so far. So he might even be I might have to go back and look, but I think he's the only nice Jesus that we've had so far. Spends his day driving a cab, spreading the gospel, and preparing the world for the kingdom of God. Spends most of his time on his sofa, it seems like. So yeah, nice guy. And then we have Wayne Bent, and if you can't tell where this is going from the picture, at least one count of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 2 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor in 2008. I am the embodiment of God. I am divinity and humanity combined. Lord, our righteousness church. So that is Wayne Bent. And that is 2 matchups. Let's go back to the brackets. And so these first 2 guys are really similar. But I'm going to have to go with Moses because he seemed like he was kind of more of a swindler. Like he's taken this one guy's whole pension. He's an 84-year-old man. I mean, I don't know. Just seems kind of shady. And then here, I'm sorry, nice Jesus. It's on this list, at least, you don't stand a chance. And then if we're going to take this out, I'm going to have to go with Wayne Bent over Moses. Because money is one thing, but the sexual assault is quite another level. Let's leave it at that. So let's see. Let's go back. Oh no, let's review where we're going here first. We have Pastor Apollo Quibolo. That was, wow. Should not have tried it. So we have Pastor Apollo versus Hassan. And we have David Shaler versus Oscar Ramiro Ortega Hernan. Yeah, I think I nailed it. Okay, so this guy from Philippines, I don't have a whole lot of information on him in here. The name above every name incorporated. So yeah, he kind of seems like a prosperity gospel type guy. Like I mentioned in Division 3, like we're seeing, in modern, it seems like the closer you get, and certainly all the present Jesuses just kind of have this prosperity thing going on. So I will move on. To Hassan, politician from Turkey, expelled from his party, imprisoned for his extreme view against secularism, claimed to be a prophet, Messiah, and Jesus after his imprisonment. So he's seems like kind of a failed revolutionary kind of type thing. And then we have David Shaler, so this is another kind of, he seems harmless to me. Former MI5 agent whistleblower who proclaimed himself to be the Messiah, as everyone on this list basically has done. No noticeable following. Yeah, I believe he started dressing like a woman, and yeah, so he's from England, Great Britain, whatever. And yeah, just seems kind of just an eccentric guy, but more or less harmless. And then we move on to Oscar Ramiro Ortega Hernandez. So we're getting into the new generation Jesuses, and it's kind of similar to the old. No, it's actually not as bad. Not yet. I mean, you know, there's time, right? I shouldn't be pessimistic. So anyway, this guy in November 2011 fired 9 shots at the White House. Claimed to be Jesus. I think he tried to get on the Oprah show, and he uploaded a YouTube video about that, which you can still watch. And you know, just search for the guy. He'll show up. And yeah, he thought Obama was the Antichrist, so that's why that happened. And I think that rounds up our matchups, so let's go back here. And yeah, so the clear winner here is going to be Oscar over David Shaler, and Hassan versus well, don't hate me, but I'm gonna have to go back and see. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot, so I guess I'm just gonna have to go with, well, actually, you know what, this guy, since he kind of, it seems like he failed, and the other guy's movement is, I would assume, still prevalent. We're going to go with him, and then I think for the same reason I am going to go with Pastor Apollo over Oscar. And so we will leave that matchup for the Sweet 16. Or you know what? I'll just take this all the way out. I'm going to go with Wayne Bent over Pastor Apollo. Just because it seems like he does have kind of a big following in the Philippines, but I think just for the sexual misconduct, yeah, we will go with Wayne Bent over that. Right? I mean, there's several of these guys on here. I don't want to make it seem like that's not a thing, right? Okay, so moving on, I kind of skipped over this little part. So we have Hogan versus Alan John Miller, and then we have Luis Farrakhan versus, yeah, I know this guy, Aravindan, or Balakrishnan. There, I think I can pronounce that. So how about Farrakhan versus Balakrishnan to round out our next two matchups. Let's go back to the profiles. So this guy, yeah, another one from Japan. We had 2 guys from Japan in the last division. This guy, he's been in a couple of cult videos that I've watched. So the Foot Reading Cult, founded in 1987, claimed to have realized he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ in Gautama the Buddha. Yeah, so I guess I don't have a whole lot about him, but I guess he's kind of got quite a, I don't know if it's like a big following, but There's something, maybe it's just that he's kind of a swindler with the whole foot reading thing. I don't remember what it was in that video, to be honest. So we might have to, he might lose just because of incomplete data here. So that's unfortunate. For unfortunate error on my part. But he's facing it off against Alan John Miller. And this guy from Australia claims to be Jesus and preaches the message he calls the divine truth. So he kind of, they do seminars. I believe he has a commune. But the interesting thing about him is he is dating Mary Magdalene, or Marie Suzanne Luck. Yeah. So, that's kind of, interesting. Hey, at least it's different, right? And then we have Farrakhan. So this guy is sort of infamous. Calls himself, or is formerly known as Luis X. And he is an American leader of the Nation of Islam. So he's also, I think he's also got some Muslim background, recognized by the Sovereign Poverty Law Center as a black nationalist and black supremacist, and leader of a hate group. So, I think some of you will know the name. And this guy might be a story that has slipped under a lot of people's radars, but this guy, he does have some stories out there about him. So from London, born in India, is an Indian, Balakrishnan. And he had sort of a sex cult type thing, basically. He's been accused of abusing and beating and basically imprisoning multiple women, including his daughter, I believe. Where is that in there? I thought I saved that in here. Oh man, is that like another person in the same list? I don't know. I'm not like seeing it, but I'm gonna move on for now. But this guy oh yeah, there it is. It's right there at the top. Raped and imprisoned his own daughter. Yeah. So that dude. Yeah. I'm just gonna move on. So Marina. Not going to try to pronounce that. Religious sect leader also from Russia. So we've had a few of them from Russia now. And so following the collapse of the former Soviet Union, she was part of a movement of new age groups that kind of formed after that. 80,000 members though by official count, so that's a pretty large following out of Russia, so you don't get a lot of news about that. Stuart Walker, leader of a group called the Pod from Australia, claimed to converse with whales, imprisoned for drug offenses. And so I will move on. Wait, did I go past mine? I think I did. Wow, okay, so I've got two more just to finish it, so let's just do it. Joshua from Dr. Phil. So, this guy, I'll put the video in the description, so that will be the link for this video. And I'll put the Noah Cash one too, because they're both kind of funny. So this guy he claimed that he was going to go on Dr. Phil and embarrass Dr. Phil. Well, the opposite happened, I would say. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's funny to watch. It's kind of, I don't feel great about it after, thinking about it now. But it is what it is, I had nothing to do with it. All I'm doing is finding these people, putting them on this list, and I am now going through them objectively and honestly. And I will have to pause there because I have a phone call. So I will be right back, folks. Okay, so we are back. Sorry about that. I was just about to finish up here. And so, yeah, Noah Cash. Now, I just found this video, and so I added him on there because he apparently thinks he's Jesus, and he tries to baptize his neighborhood. So we don't have, there's not video of that when these cops show up. He's just kind of in the lake by himself, but like the lake is, I mean, there's parts of the lake that are frozen, or at least there's at least snow on the ground around it. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's fake, but the cops seem believable to me. So in any case, I think it belongs on the list, and that's the story of Noah Cash. So let's get back to the bracket, and we will finish this Division 4. So I think Joshua over Noah, just because, yeah, if you watch the videos, you'll know what I mean. Like, Noah seems a lot more harmless than Joshua, I think. And then, wow, so I've kind of forgotten what is going on here. Man, that really scrambled my brain. So over here, I know I have to do Balakrishnan over Farrakhan, even though he is a leader of a black supremacy group. I think this guy is actually the favorite probably in this division because you can't get much darker than that. As far as infamy and just the overall cultish kind of ugliness, this guy's a strong contender for the end of the list. So I think this Alan John Miller guy is just more of a prosperity gospel type dude. And then this guy went to jail for drug offenses. Yeah, so I think the 80,000 member cult is going to win over there. But I'm going to have to go with Hogan over Alan John. Because I just think the whole grifter foot reading thing kind of that puts him over the Mary Magdalene. Even the whole Mary Magdalene thing is kind of interesting. And then here, of course, this horrible freaking dude here moves on. Yeah, so I was gonna do Marina over Stuart Walker, and then Marina over Joshua, and then here's kind of unclear, but I think just because of the shocking, I mean, just the, yeah, I've already explained this guy. And then, so wow, look at this. We've got two serial sex offenders in a head-to-head matchup in the Elite 8 in Division 4. So yeah, Division 4 actually ends up darker than I originally thought, and this guy gets it over Wayne Bent. So he wins. I think he's actually kind of in the running for one of the worst of all time. So let's zoom out and see where we are at here. Whoops, I did the opposite of zoom out. Okay, so user error, user malfunction. Let's zoom back over here. So here we are nearing the end here. One more video, and that video, as I explained before, will feature these tough matchups out of round 3, and Kondrati versus Krishna Vinta to finish off kind of the earlier divisions, Division 1 and 2 matchup. I feel like Henry is kind of the odd guy out. Like, he has nothing close to any of the remaining contenders. So keep in mind, I didn't actually create this list. This list already existed. I just kind of went out there and put all these kind of different things together. Most of it already on Wikipedia, and these people, for the most part, identified themselves. There are a couple innocent contenders, unfortunate souls, you might say, that are on this list, like Gigi Allen comes to mind. And where is he? The Ethiopian prince Haile Selassie, never claimed. But the rest of these guys all made some sort of claim for themselves, and so that is where all of this came from. So anyway, that wraps up Division 4. I would like to thank you all very much for watching and sticking through this. Especially the innovator, shout out to you. We will get through this together. One more video and we will know who's the champion. And yeah, so that concludes today. So thanks for sticking around, guys. And before I leave, I just want to say I really appreciate it if you guys have made it this far. Welcome for any new subs out there, and yeah, for lasting this long, you guys are amazing, and I love everything that you're doing. I'm sure you've probably never asked yourself, is it necessary to put all the people in history who have claimed to be Jesus in a March Madness single elimination bracket to determine who, besides Jesus, is the ultimate Jesus? But if that thought had occurred to you, I'm sure you would have immediately thought, no, it's not necessary. But we're going to do it anyway. It may shock you that there are enough Jesuses to fill a bracket of 64, but there are, and that's what we're doing. Although not based on love, or caring for the poor and sick. No, this will be judged on infamy, power, influence, debauchery, and most insane. And just to be clear, I am going to have fun with this, but I don't want you to think I'm making fun of mental illness or making light of the tragedies that some of these people helped cause. I do hope to shed some light on the sheer magnitude of the phenomenon and help put it into perspective. I have a feeling you will find, like I did, it is way more common than you ever thought. If you're enjoying this content, consider subscribing, leave a comment and a like, which I will be sure to love, and let me know how I'm doing, or how you're doing, or your thoughts on something else. Stay tuned for the next division, and keep in mind this is only the Jesus category. There are Buddhas and Jewish messiahs and Islamic prophets and divine rulers, and some in a category all their own. I'll be reviewing the spreadsheet I'm working out of in more detail in later videos as well, so be sure to subscribe for more. Bye now!